God, some machines are starting to take over.
Storm clouds are brewing. AI-shaped storm clouds.
Agents are coming.
Agent.
Go.
And while many are rightfully impressed by what they can do, you don't have to think about it long or hard to realize this isn't going to end well. It ain't robots with guns that bother me. Yeah, because, historically the pen has always been mightier than the sword. No, it's something more innate about the tools that we use and how they don't really change human nature.
But I can't change human nature.
If anything, they exaggerate it, with channels like mine likely to be among the first casualties. And like with all of these things, I'm not just speculating on this one. By the end of the video, I'm going to show you how ChatGPT or something like it is basically going to render media platforms like YouTube impotent as a useful source of valid information. And it's going to do it in a way that no human can effectively compete against.
Eventually you will weaken. Your reserves will be gone. They are relentless.
And it's going to do it because of something so deeply ingrained in humans that they can't do anything about. But what could be so deeply ingrained in humans? It's simple. Feelings matter more than facts. No, I didn't say that wrong. And by the end of this video, it'll be blisteringly obvious why feelings matter more than facts. And you'll be kicking yourself as to why you didn't see it sooner. You see, 15 years ago, I was optimistic about YouTube. Mind-blowingly, naively optimistic. This was back in the days when it was a hokey little website where no one could make any money off of it. People did stuff because they had a passion for it. And boy, was it a breath of fresh air compared to the professional McDonald's mainstream media. Back in the days, I focused on creationists and how crazy it was that over half the planet still believed that a man hearing voices in his head wasn't so much a man off his meds having a psychotic episode, but was actually a man being tested by God to see if he would kill his kid or not. Yeah, what are the odds? But I was optimistic because YouTube allowed a venue where you could make high quality debunking videos that would be there in perpetuity that anyone could see at any time. And in this open marketplace of ideas, surely the good ideas would propagate better than the bad ones. Boy, was I wrong. Spectacularly wrong. Yes, newsflash. Scientist or not.
Only human.
Now, AI on its own might not be too bad, but AI mixed with the attention economy of the modern internet, based off the wants of the human brain. Oof, these don't look good. But seeing as humans are a key part of this, we got to take a look at what drives them and why feelings matter more than facts to them. Now, of course, in the scientific realm, this would go nowhere, but the scientific media is read by almost no one. For real life, nope, the reality is that feelings matter much more than facts. And like I was saying, when you think about it, it really couldn't be any other way. You see, feelings are more the biological response. It's ingrained into you like body language, in that blind people who have never seen a smile before will still smile when they're happy. It's universally understood everywhere where there are people. And touch is the most expressive form of communication. The comforting touch, the connection of fingers, the expressiveness of pressure. No one taught you how to do any of this, yet you still know because it feels right. Or the inflection in the voice. I don't speak a word of Greek, but I can still tell you from the sound of their voice if they're happy or angry. Then you get down to the actual words, the details of what's being said. If you ain't learned Greek, you ain't understanding Greek. And the argument contained therein is actually a relatively small part of human communication. And probably the one that is easiest to lie with.
Now you are dead.
You said right, but you went left.
And now you are a dead girl.
Yeah, there's no grammatical structure for body language.
Only because you lied.
My tongue lied. My eyes shouted the truth.
But people's response to it is pretty instinctive and pretty important.
You have Darwin to thank for that. She got the creeps around you. Which oddly is an actual medical phenomenon around psychopaths. Probably an evolved response to predators.
I'm sorry.
Feelings in decision-making are the body language of communication. They're deeply ingrained. Feelings of love, warmth, and security are powerful motivators. Reasoned arguments really don't hold a lot of purchase here. A lot of your feelings, they are biologically hardwired into you as your body language. They tend to be the things that are more essential. Like breathing is pretty much as hardwired as it comes. And somewhat further down the list of feelings, you get how people should act in society. And some of this is more plastic, some of it is more hardwired. Like people tend to have pretty adverse feelings to murderers or people who predate on the vulnerable. While people might have similar reactions, just not quite as intense, to whether it's okay or not to put pineapple on pizza. Not conforming with social norms is also a form of communication. Sometimes it bears an intrinsically high price. Like if you want to speak Greek while living in a society that speaks Mexican, there's going to be a price to that. And sometimes cultures have bizarre rules that they enforce passionately, like killing people for picking up sticks on the Sabbath, like in the Bible. But overwhelmingly, if something triggers strong feelings of anger, love, hate, compassion, or similar, those play a strong role in decision-making because feelings are the mind's label for decision already made. Arguably, what makes successful crusaders is that they're good at engaging feelings on a subject. They have passion.
Even now, my voice is reaching millions throughout the world. Millions of despairing men, women, and little children.
Yeah, I know it's only a spoof, but just humor me for a second. Rate the impact of the communication on the body language, the inflection in the voice, and the actual words used.
Machine men with machine minds and machine hearts, you are not machines, you are not cattle, you are men.
Machine men with machine minds and machine hearts, you are not machines, you are not cattle, you are men. Machine men with machine minds and machine hearts, you are not machines, you are not cattle, you are men.
Then in the name of democracy, let us use that power, let us all unite, let us fight for a new world.
It's also a cynical man's first stop if they're trying to manipulate someone. Could this be me? I mean, I certainly get passionate about stuff, but to manipulate people? Well, it's an interesting thought until maybe you come across the odd, maybe pertinent fact like I've been making videos for at least 15 years, without making a penny from it in the early years. And that for those 15 years, I've also been a pretty active research scientist. Not normally an activity that is associated with doing it for the fame and money. But don't worry, it's the internet. I'm sure a lot of people are going to try and get that very round peg to fit in that very square hole. This channel's a bit of an oddball like that. All politics is basically about trying to get people passionate about things, about feelings.
Was it Mario Cuomo who was the one who said you campaign in poetry, but you govern in prose?
And that's overwhelmingly the way that the internet is going. Necessarily so, in that stuff that provokes feelings is what gets attention. Sadly, with anger and hate being some of the easiest to trigger. I mean, it ain't new. The internet has just allowed it on a grander scale than before. And believing in stupid stuff, like an all-loving being stopped by some shepherds telling him to kill his kid. Yeah, there's nothing really new there either. The only thing that the internet has done here is add steroids. But driving forces on the internet are a little different, in that the only thing that really matters is attention. Just like the definition of a successful politician is someone who can get themselves elected, the definition of success on the internet is something that gets attention. Truth is what you might describe an optional extra. And a man who constrains himself to the truth has immediately hamstringed himself in such a race. I'd already noticed that people promoting crap did exceptionally well. You needed basically 3 generic factors to do well. Some vanilla script saying how this was the big next thing that would change everything. Mix in some high quality stock footage, which now comes up with the rations on many higher end video editors. And the media looks like it's professionally produced, with all the inferred credibility that comes from that. Is any of it true? Who cares? It gets attention. And as it stands, stuff like this is 10 times easier to produce than the stuff that I've historically produced. I'll often do the calculations, the experiments, I have to check it all multiple times. And the bottom line is, after a decade or so of media like this, there's maybe a half a dozen minor errors in calculations, none of which have significantly affected the conclusions of those videos. Alternatively, repeat all the outrageous, too good to be true claims. And you're done. All the ones that make people feel good. You see, like I was saying, checking stuff is hard. Understanding stuff is hard. Emotional responses are quick, simple, and powerful. Telling people that the battery problem is solved 50 times over makes people feel good. Explaining the facts of how it's all bullshit. It's always been bullshit and always will be bullshit.
It was in the late 1970s when John Goodenough developed the first lithium-ion batteries right here at the University of Oxford.
Have announced they've invented a new battery that sounds too good to be true. And the new battery they've come up with is unlike anything anyone's ever seen before. Compared to current batteries, it can hold 3 to 10 times the charge, can be recharged in minutes instead of hours, and has a lifespan of over 1,000 cycles, and doesn't go boom in your back pocket.
To the point where you've actually called bullshit on the miracle battery from the Nobel Prize winner who invented the lithium-ion battery. That's not so easy. And this is on the basis that you have lots of decent quality scientists who actually understand this stuff in the first place, making videos. And, well, newsflash, most scientists have careers and don't worry about this sort of thing. Making videos on YouTube simply isn't a factor in their career. Yeah, in terms of research scientists who run reasonable sized YouTube channels, I think I'm on a short list of 1. But even if I'm wrong there, I'm not far wrong. I mean, just to put it all into perspective. I mean, people will often criticize me for being obsessed about Elon Musk because I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 videos, 9 videos over the period of about 2 months. Let's see how long it takes, say, the Elon Musk zone to do that many videos. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. After 4 whole days. That's how long it takes the Elon Musk zone to make that many videos. And it just keeps going and going and going and going and going. And a lot of these things, they're every now and again, 250,000 hits, a third of a million hits. It's basically just winning through sheer weight of numbers, in that every now and again, something will get picked up by the algorithm and boom, 500,000 hits.
You don't approve? Well, too bad. It's simple numbers. They have more.
But it's not just like there's the Elon Musk zone with sort of infinite amounts of videos like this. There is also Elon Musk Rewind, Tesla Vision, Elon Musk Now, all basically Tesla fans, Tesla Car World, all basically pumping out the exact same crap at some crazy rate. And they outnumber videos like mine 10 to 1 at least. But that doesn't bother me. That's what I call a target-rich environment. That's what I call a challenge.
The enemy outnumber us a paltry 3 to 1.
That's why I started the Why Do People Laugh at Creationists series in the first place, because creationists outnumbered atheists 10 to 1 on early YouTube. But even with people who make these vapid videos just repeating bullshit claims, there's at least a linearity to it. It took them time to produce the media, just like it took me. Now comes the point where you realize that the end is near. Enter ChatGPT to the market, and instantly the situation is transformed from valiantly fighting the hopeless battle to the end can't be far away now. You may have noticed more and more robot-voiced clips on YouTube.
Yes, this is the Abrams X. This future design replaces the manned turret and locates the entire crew of 3, reduced by 1 crewman, forward in the hull.
This is one of the freakiest creatures in the world, and perhaps it has the most painful sting among insects. Meet the tarantula hawk. Their stings are so excruciatingly painful.
This is the harbinger of doom. Decent voiced text is basically indistinguishable from someone reading it. You sound like a professional narrator.
And then we have the voice option. This is the most impressive part. They have a vast amount of different languages and accents.
I love human food, trust me.
Let's see what the English Australian female Natasha sounds like.
Another test to see if it sounds good.
You will start to see more and more media like this online. It can be produced with no skill simply by pushing a button. You ask ChatGPT to write an article on the brilliance of Elon Musk, take a few keywords out of every sentence, have an automated search on a media library for a suitable clip, and you will get something like this.
Elon Musk is on a mission to change the world as we know it, and his inventions are leading the charge. With his unparalleled vision and unrelenting drive, he's creating revolutionary technologies that are poised to shake up industries and transform the lives of people everywhere. First up, there's Tesla Motors, where Elon is taking the auto world by storm with his all-electric vehicles that are not only environmentally friendly, but also the fastest. With his unwavering commitment to innovation and his unbridled passion for making a positive impact, he's creating a future that's brighter, bolder, and more bombastic than we ever thought possible.
Entire creation time, seconds.
Where's your stubbornness now, Picard, your arrogance? Do you still profess to be prepared for what awaits you?
There are no obvious signs that this is vapid filler written by a computer. The video looks professional. The audio sounds professional. In the old world of YouTube, like more than a decade ago, people would blow up when they hit an element of virality. The reason being, mainstream media was big expensive, so they couldn't make much of it. Now, the cost of making stuff like this really came down to the time of the creator. And of course, there was a lot more of it. AI has just dropped the price of making media to almost zero. It seems clear to me now that great portions of YouTube will just get swamped with this kind of media. It costs basically nothing to produce, and seeing as there's an element of randomness to what goes viral, you know, the more times you roll the dice, the more chances that something's going to hit the virality. Well, a computer can roll the dice like that 1,000 times faster than a human could.
That sounds exactly like the thinking of a machine to me.
For my corner of the internet, those are pretty harsh odds. I mean, sure, people who run on emotional entertainment based on personalities, celebrities, they'll be fine. Because it's the feelings that people have about them that make them unique as celebrities. I was never really like that. I was just a disembodied voice making arguments. Basically, the rules of engagement for the new YouTube marketplace is going to be truth is an optional extra. And a computer can screen for what works in the attention economy for that core stuff that makes people feel good by brute force simply by making media 1,000 times faster than you can. At its core, the internet didn't change the nature of humans. Conspiracy theories didn't just die when information was easily available that showed they were wrong. In fact, quite the opposite happened. It enabled new conspiracy theories to be born faster and quicker than anyone would have thought possible. It exaggerated the nature of humans. My expectation is this AI will be that on Raidroids. And that's just phase 1. Phase 2 will be the Cambridge Analytica moment, where people start using bots to produce disinformation. At which point, how will you actually be able to tell what is true and what isn't? Like Q said about artificial intelligence.
Eventually you will weaken. Your reserves will be gone. They are relentless. Where's your stubbornness now, Picard, your arrogance? Do you still profess to be prepared for what awaits you?
Add this to YouTube's algorithm that favors newly made media, and you basically reward quantity of the media. And with that as an outlook, that looks pretty bleak for people like me, who with a lot of effort can maybe put together one quality video per week. And with such maybe bleak thoughts in mind, many thanks to all those who have supported this channel on Patreon over the years. I've always kind of enjoyed making videos, and I won't dwell on it too long, but all your support over the years has completely changed my position and was a real enabler in terms of how much time and money I could spend on making stuff like this. So is there any way this dystopian nightmare can be avoided? Well, maybe. If YouTube makes AI-generated media illegal and actually uses AI to screen for AI-produced media. Machines saving us from other machines? Maybe? Or maybe YouTube will just realize that more people watching YouTube means more profit for them, meaning there is no financial incentive for them to try and stop this. So is this me quitting? Hell no! Just like I was first, I will be last. Some battles you know you cannot win. But sometimes it's not about winning or losing, but how much you make them bleed for it.